Hey everyone, welcome back to Inside the Cage. Tyson Fury blown away by France's punch power. Did you catch Tyson Fury's showdown with arguably the hardest puncher in UFC history? It was a clash for the ages in Saudi Arabia on October 28th, and turns out Fury ended up with some heavy bruising and even a black eye after going toe-to-toe with this Cameroonian force. He managed to secure a split decision victory, but it wasn't the walk in the park that many expected. Undoubtedly, the Gypsy King had to dig deep. Now we know Fury has faced some absolute beasts in the boxing world, like Deontay Wilder and Vladimir Klitschko. But in an interview with Boxing King Media, the 35-year-old struggled to draw a comparison between Francis and those power-punching former world champions. Despite the marks on his face, he couldn't quite put his finger on it, saying he didn't feel the full effect of Ngannou's blows. It's a fascinating twist in the world of combat sports.
He punches hard, but it was a bit like a hook on the back of the head. The knockdown in round whatever it was, 3. But yeah, apart from that, he didn't really get with him much else.
Even if Fury claims he didn't quite feel the impact of Francis's punches, his body and face sure tell a different story. It left him battered and bruised to the point where his much-anticipated undisputed showdown with Alexander Usyk, originally set for December 23rd, had to be postponed. Now, it looks like we'll have to wait until the end of the Riyadh season, which falls in either February or March, to witness this epic showdown in the boxing world. Alex Pereira calls out Israel, Adesanya's motivation. Here, the recent developments between Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya have certainly caught the attention of the MMA world. It's becoming a hot topic of discussion among fans and experts alike. Additionally, Pereira, the former UFC middleweight champ, thinks that Adesanya is just missing some motivation to get back into the octagon. But Adesanya's not having any of it. In a recent chat on the Trocação Franca podcast, Pereira shared his thoughts and said he believes Adesanya won't stay away from the fight game for too long. According to Poatan, all Adesanya needs is a good reason to make his comeback. I don't think that's true. He won't stay out that long, Alex Pereira stated when asked about Israel Adesanya's hiatus. And that's not good for him, to not fight for that long. He'll give other interviews soon and get motivated again. I think he needs a bit more motivation. If he finds something that motivates him, I think he comes back quickly. When he finds that motivation, he comes back sooner than that. Now, fans eagerly await Adesanya's return to see if this sparks the motivation he needs to step back into the octagon. It's a storyline worth following, and the anticipation is building for what could be an epic showdown between two incredibly talented fighters. Jorge Masvidal takes MMA by storm. Masvidal, the former UFC BMF champion, has quite a story to tell. He recently found himself in hot water over an assault case involving Covington, but the plot has thickened. As there is an early report that showed, Masvidal accepted a plea deal for his misdeed in Miami-Dade County, and it's quite a twist. In exchange for his plea, they dropped 2 felony charges that could have led to some serious jail time, 15 years and a $10,000 penalty to be exact. Instead, he got time served and an agreement to cover court costs. Eventually, Masvidal spoke up outside the courthouse after the sentencing. Masvidal was notably unrepentant outside the courthouse, saying, "You Colby, it's gonna be a ING movie now. All these orders, all these restraining orders, all these things have been lifted off. It's gonna be a ING movie. Thank you, Brad, God bless. If you run into trouble, this is the dude right here, huh? I'm telling you, undefeated in this in-court room." So, Jorge Masvidal isn't holding back in the drama with his former friend and training partner. In a more recent interview with the MMA Hour, he not only kept up the trash talk, but also threw in a direct threat for good measure. The tension just keeps on building.
So if I got a chance to whoop somebody's ass that's crossed the line, I'm all for it, bro. Every fucking time we see each other, we could fucking throw down like men. Only difference is I'm never gonna involve fucking other people or police. This fucking fluid gender bitch claiming he's a fucking man and a patriot, and all he is a fucking state-sponsored snitch bitch.
Here's an interesting twist. Eric McGracken from Combat Sports Law made a tweet about how statements like this one from Masvidal could potentially come back to haunt him in civil court. If Covington decides to take things a step further with a civil suit, this could add a whole new layer to the legal showdown. UFC Star Insights on Bantamweight Showdown. Interestingly, Matt Brown is looking forward to Marlon Vera's showdown with Sean O'Malley for the Bantamweight title at UFC 299. But there's another side to this story that's heartbreaking. He can't help but feel devastated for Merab Dvalishvili. While Dvalishvili put together an incredible 9-fight win streak and was sitting right near the top of the rankings, However, he was passed over by UFC matchmakers, and Vera got the title shot instead. And yes, it doesn't make it any easier for Dvalishvili, who seemed to have earned his shot. However, Brown understands Dvalishvili's frustration and disappointment, especially with rumors floating around that Dvalishvili might end up facing former two-division UFC champ Henry Cejudo instead. It's a tough situation all around. We feel bad for Merab not getting the title shot, Brown said on the latest episode of The Fighter vs. The Writer. Now he's got to go fight Henry Cejudo. It's not like he gets a tune-up fight or a keep warm fight. Keep him in there and keep everything sharp for that title fight. Now you've got to go fight one of the greatest combat sports athletes of all time. If he loses that fight, that changes the trajectory of his life. It's certainly not too cool, but it is what it is. This is the world we live in now. Even before the official announcement on Monday, Matt Brown saw this coming. He wasn't surprised when Marlon Vera got the title shot because the signs were already there, especially after Sean O'Malley defeated Aljamain Sterling to become the champ. On the other hand, O'Malley had been calling for a rematch with Vera numerous times, wanting to avenge his only loss. Plus, Vera is one of the most popular and marketable bantamweights in the game. So, when you combine those two factors, it pretty much left Dvalishvili on the outside, looking in. We understand what the UFC's model is and why they do what they do, Brown said. It's hard to hate on it. Brown understands that what's happening in the bantamweight division is not new. It's a script we've seen play out in several title fights before. Whether it's Nick Diaz getting a title shot against Georges St-Pierre after a loss while Johnny Hendricks was patiently waiting, or Conor McGregor leaping to the front of the line in the lightweight division for a shot at becoming a two-division champ. Winning matters, no doubt, but having that star power in your corner doesn't hurt either. When it comes to the title fight that's officially on the books, Brown has high expectations. He's pretty confident that O'Malley and Vera are going to deliver a spectacular show, and it's safe to say the UFC had the same idea when they put this matchup together. On the other hand, he admits that he wasn't initially a fan of Sean O'Malley and didn't believe he could make it to the title, thinking he would lose to Aljamain Sterling. However, O'Malley's recent performances have changed his opinion, and he now respects O'Malley's abilities. So my friend, it's a delicate balance between deserving contenders and fan-favorite matchups, making the sport more exciting. Conor McGregor faces off with a boxer. Conor McGregor found himself in the hot seat, facing a roast from an unexpected source, a boxing Hall of Famer. McGregor, who's never shied away from trading verbal blows with MMA and boxing rivals, argues with International Boxing Hall of Famer Carl Froch, and the crosstalk between them hasn't lost its excitement. McGregor recently jumped into the mix, leaving a comment on an Instagram post where David Haye recalled his WBA heavyweight title win against Nikolai Valuev back in 2009. "What a performance," McGregor wrote in response to Haye's post, while Froch didn't let McGregor's comment slide under the radar. Instead, he decided to take a jab at the UFC superstar, cleverly twisting one of McGregor's famous lines. "And what the fuck do you know about boxing?" Froch wrote. Certainly, it seems like there's no love lost between McGregor and Froch. McGregor hasn't been one to hold back when it comes to dishing out some sharp jabs at Froch in the past. "That Froch tick, little scrawny pencil neck," McGregor wrote. "I'll grab his head and twist it clean off at an owner with my bare hands. Little wally of a thing. I'll slap you around, you little toffee-nosed tosspot." Let's see if they can settle their differences inside the ring, or keep it in the realm of words and social media. Alright guys, that's all for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. See you at the next one. Until then, goodbye.